What's up, guys, and welcome to the Reflecting Pool. We're back at you with a YouTube video. I don't know about you guys, but I'm on that Flash gang. Like, that shit should not have been banned. Swear to God. Fuck RC.
Alright guys, welcome to the Reflecting Pool. We're here to talk about our discussion on this recent banning that we received early this morning, about midnight-ish, where our past Lord and Savior Flash was banned. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
So we're just here to discuss it, see how everybody feels about it, see what we're going to do with decks now, and where we think the tier list is going to go.
Hi. I'm Jacoby. I'm not allowed to talk.
So we'll just go ahead and start there, guys. So, what is the consensus with the Reflecting Pool about Flash being banned?
This is bullshit.
Okay.
All right, that's Jacoby.
Yeah.
For me, I didn't really care. I didn't really care. I wasn't on Flash. I actually won quite a few games against it, so for me, it wasn't a problem.
So for me personally, like I was kind of upset because obviously I played that card, but in the end of the day, if it improves cEDH, then I'm okay with taking that small L, taking that small loss. It's fine.
What about
If
you?
it improves cEDH.
What about you, Dr. Baku? How do you feel about this card being banned?
I think that the flash ban was deserved because the format had become so. Like, me personally, I would have to aggressively mulligan to make sure that just in case I could deal with a flash. And people were putting a lot of tech into their decks to deal with flash and to deal with the other cards. So now it's going to really open up slots in decks so we can see some creative juices flowing from different people about all the different styles of decks that are going to come out of this.
I mean,
Because,
So-
like,
go ahead.
So,
Caleb.
all right, cool. So, I'm glad I kind of we saved me for last because, as someone who actually plays Flash, I feel like this is bullshit because, I mean, you banned one card and removed a whole archetype from the competitive scene, and I really feel like the only issue was Thassa's Oracle, to be completely honest, because once the card was printed, like, they had no issue banning Lutri as an emergency ban. Why couldn't they do that with Thassa's Oracle? Why haven't they done that with any other card that has ever been proven problematic in casual EDH, battle cruiser, or whatever the fuck they call it? Like, they've never done this with any other card. You could argue that Demonic Consultation could even be more problematic than Flash, because we have, like you said, we have cards that can answer. Like, the meta was just peaking because we had this great threat that was Thassa's Oracle. We had the Oracle Winter, right? And now we saw cards answering Thassa's Oracle, as in like Trick Bind and Sudden Spoiling coming back to the meta. Split Second being super relevant with interacting with triggered abilities and such. And it found other lines of play as well. For example, being able to stop an Agila with a Sudden Spoiling by turning everything into 0/2 dudes, and it doesn't matter if they swing. You know, cool beans. Fuck your shit. And
don't
then,
forget the Angel's Grace that a lot of people were teching just to ruin their that's Oracle.
just to blow out opponents when they try to win the game. And like, a lot of the stuff that we were using, a lot of people were already playing. They were just in tier 1.5 decks that needed a little extra oomph to hang with the big kids. So have fun. I think this is going to make this just food chain and consultation.
And we have those like Jacoby who don't like it. I think it's a great banning. Needed to be gone. It makes other decks be able to come into
You're going in and out, Black.
Which, like, you know, the Revy can now be played in this meta, which is amazing. It just opens up the whole meta to a lot more different decks, different styles. Stacks is going to be a real big thing right now. You also got things like Nagila, which is going to be great. Maybe the best deck currently in the meta as of today. That's most likely going to change, but I mean, you know, nobody knows where it's going to go. And to segue into that is to get you guys' opinion on what's going to be the best deck in the coming weeks and months.
I actually don't think there's gonna be like one best deck. I think that there's gonna be a top three. And the reason why I say that is so we move into this format now, which is very relevant. You know, you see reanimator decks coming back, and I think Gitrog, as much as the deck, I love the deck. I think it's gonna be more prevalent now than ever it was before, because we don't have to deal with the scare of turn 1/2 Flash Hulk. We now have time to set up.
So, Dewey, do you think that Gitrog can actually take a step back and not have to focus so much on cards that go really fast and actually play more value-driven cards?
I know where you were going with this, and I think I know the card about as far as value-driven goes. No, and here's the reason why. Is because so we're moving into also, you know, like I said, a graveyard setted meta, but we're also moving into consultation as well. With consultation, we now have to run more stripping hand effects to deal with the new problem that's arising. So I think graveyard style decks like Gitrog will be more prevalent. Reanimators will be more prevalent, and then I think the stack six, like Black said, will also be more prevalent. So I'm thinking the top three decks will be a Consultation Kess, maybe, Nagila, and a Gitrog. I think those will be the top three decks in the meta.
I still think you're undervaluing partners. I really think partners will still make the meta because Thrasios Timna means that Timna gives you value in the command zone as a Phyrexian Arena and gives you good combat step and lets you draw cards. Thrasios says, I'm going to play Thrasios and Passios, and I'm going to sit here, and if I have 4 mana at the end of the turn before me, I'll pay the 4 mana, I'll draw or reveal a land or whatever, and slowly, incrementally outvalue everyone else.
So then
I really think those will still be... I still think they'll be tier 1. I think that now a lot of decks are also going to be tier 1.
So that would make my point to where there'd be a top 4 decks, because each of these styles of decks will trade with each other consistently.
Yeah. I could see that.
I actually completely disagree. I think CST, like Thrasios Timna, is still up there. The only thing that happened with Flash getting banned is Oracle Hulk got pushed out, and everything else just bumped up. And so it was. I think CST now is looking like the deck to beat. And after that, it's going to be Nagila, Frog, and Sliver, and then everything else.
And Cass and 4-color Breach.
Yeah, they're all under Frog, Nagila, and First Sliver.
And go ahead.
Gotcha. It's just, yeah, you're not. I don't think you're gonna like you said, Baka. Like nothing's beating Thrasios Timna. Like nothing's more value than having those two in the command zone right now. And
especially with the free commander cards.
Especially with that, there's maybe Thrasios Valus Pasture can move up there, but because they arguably have more free cards than Thrasios Timna, but it's really just Thrasios Timna is up top and everybody else is just playing catch up. And I think it's been like that for a while. And I don't think that's changing.
I'm going to have to disagree with you, Lewis, for the fact that CST depends on artifacts, and you got too many artifact removal spells that are be able to play now, especially with red.
Dude, people are just jamming oofs.
Yeah, like I
was just
literally,
jamming oofs.
literally 2 minutes after that announcement came out, I bought an oof because it's going to get played because you have to stop the artifacts. You literally
Dockside extortionist. It's too prevalent in the meta.
exactly, and it's just going to become worse. So, because of that, I went ahead and, like I said, I bought the oof, and then CST also depends. Not CST, but Kess also depends on her artifacts because she's on green. I do think though that, and this is kind of biased, but it is what it is. I do think that Thrasios and Vow Smasher will be the better deck because it has green. Because I can play dorks instead of rocks.
I mean, Thrasios and Timna can do the same thing, and arguably it plays more dudes than you can.
Disagree.
So like,
So
like, they probably play the same amount of mana dorks, but like, okay, if
you're
there is
still,
a more,
you're still playing 45 to 60 points of mana production in your list. Like, it doesn't matter what list you're running. Some lists, like, you're never gonna find a list that isn't playing Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mox Diamond, Chrome Mox, and Lotus Petal. Like, it's not gonna exist. These are staples that you have to play. And,
yeah, but that's
like,
5 cards. So all I'm saying
So-
is, okay, now we run the less niche. Like, okay, yeah, you play Arcane Signet or whatever, but
Yeah.
let's say you don't run any of the signets or the talisman. Rely on dudes. Oh, I'm saying you switch to that.
You switch to dudes instead of the.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm speaking specifically for CST.
Oh yeah, CSC just generally runs straight rocks.
For CST, they're gonna.
Oh,
play
no, yeah.
rocks.
They
Now-
they run like they run Bloom Cinder. They run Faber Elder because it's extra draw power.
Probably run both now.
And Dark Confidant and Value.
So-
Beast,
So,
dudes that win the
so
game.
we can all agree at least that this is going to be a very. If it wasn't already a dude meta, it's now
going to be.
It's now
Yeah.
a dude meta.
Like,
Yeah, man.
It
Uh,
Whip
100%
out,
a dude meta.
whip out your Priest of Titania's. You
you're a
better be playing
Dranith
Thrasios.
Magistrate. You're a
Yeah,
Dranith Magistrate. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So now, I want to follow up on this. So, I actually think that we're gonna see a completely new meta. I think that the power shifted so hard. Like, so we're gonna have our definite lists. So like, for Shane Food Sliver, Brea Control is gonna come back. Kess Consultation is
yep.
gonna come back.
Najila Tempo.
Najila Tempo is gonna come back. Like Derevi's coming back. Like other fringe decks are gonna come back, right? But let's talk about these new fucking decks that have been running around. Okay. So.
Oh no.
this-
Oh, I already know where you're going with this.
No. This Croxa list that has been running around is absolutely fucking insane. By turn 3, it is stripping your hand out of your. It's stripping your hand away. Like, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I mean, yeah, we got Dranith Magistrate now and it helps fix the issue of escape. But I think that the list is too consistent and too fast. And what we're looking at right now is an arms race. How can we achieve Flash's speed and resiliency without Flash, right? So, Tyam Gravestorm is going to be insane. Like, if you're not comboing the fuck off, you're making a bunch of dudes with Vigilance, and you're swinging in with a team every turn. And in that deck, you have access to Elish Storm, which is one of the best lords in the game. So, like, I don't know. I think Croxa is going to be up there. I think Tyam is going to be up there. Zur is going to see a really good comeback. Yeah.
If your
And
deck
then all the
loses to,
staples.
I could agree with a few things, like not really like the decks themselves, but definitely certain cards. Like if your deck already loses to Elish Storm, it's gonna be a really hard meta for you. Like this is gonna suck. Like
Oh, yeah.
You might as well take a break.
Elish Storm is gonna be problem.
However-
like if you like
100%
Like
believe
that-
that Hulk is not dead. Like Flash did
Oh,
not
yeah.
make the card.
Oh no, yeah,
Like-
yeah.
like,
Reanimator decks are gonna be amazing. Still, like you
right
have
before
to
this
run rest
video- right before this video, I was making a Hulk list. We just run back to super heavy Reanimator things. So like,
yeah, people are talking about playing Barals again. You know, that'll be really cool.
I think
Uh,
Anafenza is going to make a comeback too.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of graveyard hate. Probably even. Yeah, because people were cutting it when for
yeah,
Fishhawk.
This
So
is the
they're-
most
they're bringing
graveyard
it
hate
back.
we're gonna have in at least a year.
It's gonna be
yeah,
a lot.
because
It's gonna be
think of all the cards that they printed that were like green and 1, instant speed, destroy target enchantment, and/or exile something from their graveyard, and it's like, all right, cool beans.
I'm gonna hit that Mana Crypt and that card out of your graveyard. 2 for
It's
1.
gonna be wild. Yeah,
Or
it's
I'm gonna
be
hit
wild.
I'm gonna
People
hit your Mana Crypt and your thing out of your graveyard. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way,
Yeah,
it was instant speed
Yeah.
It's gonna be wild.
because
So now you're gonna.
why not?
So now you have no graveyard and probably no dudes. So you have to like. So there's gonna be a lot of like sorcery and instant, like ways of like card advantage. Like you're gonna need your cantrips again. Like you're gonna need all your cantrips. Like
Yeah.
opt might have to be played again. Like I'm like obviously brainstorm period ain't ponder, right? But probably gonna have to add opt and like get Propus played. It's gonna be
I
wild.
think Dewey had it best. I think a lot of people are gonna play hand rip, Thoughtseize,
Oh,
Inquisition
yeah.
of Kozilek.
That's
it's
why I
gonna be
think
right.
Roxa is gonna
Stuff
do
like
so
that.
well.
Just
Like-
like you're gonna tutor cards because I know you're probably gonna play blue, black. That's his Oracle Consultation. Cool. I'm gonna rip one of those out of your hand because you can't flash in response anymore. I think Get Probe will see a resurgence too.
Like blood mood type effects. You're gonna be hurt if you're not. If you already lost to those, it's gonna be real bad. I'm telling
Don't
you.
don't encourage Jacoby and his 4-color turns nonsense.
So
But
does that brings up a point of Blood Pod. Where does it stand in this new meta?
It got some good tools, but it's gonna be up there. It's gonna be like that kind of like boogeyman, where it's kind of like, hey, like you either gonna you're either gonna lose to the deck or you're gonna have ways to combat it. Yeah, so you have to play a deck, which is why I go back to like probably some Thraxios Timna type thing that doesn't lose to hand destruction, creature removal, and your lands not being able to do what they do. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be a wild meta. It's gonna
So
really suck.
what about? Do you think that 3-color and 4-color control decks are gonna come back?
Tassiger is probably coming back.
There
That's
are
probably the
already
better-
people building Tassiger to try and make it come back.
Blue Pod and Red and Blood Pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely.
What about Storm?
No,
No,
it's
There's-
it's
there's
still,
gonna be-
the meta's still too fast.
it's not even that's too fast. It's like artifacts just feel so bad right now. Like there's gonna be too many roofs running around. Like,
Without Doc's engine, Storm's not good.
oh, you mean like breach
What do you?
style storm
Yeah.
decks?
Yeah, like
Oh.
you can. Yeah, because we have Underworld Breach, and it's a strictly
That
Ghetto
still
Yawg
needs
possibility.
but that still needs LED, right? So which means it still loses artifact removal. Artifact
Nah, because you can do Bloom Cinder Free from the Real or Faber Elder and Pimentor.
So you need dudes.
You can do. Why not both? Like
So it's so like
at this
all I'm
point-
saying is like
so at this point, like it's all resiliency. How resilient can you make a list?
which is why I think console is still the best like combo in the game still. I think Thassa's Oracle Demonic Consultation is gonna be it's not the new Flash Hulk, but it's like that's what's gonna end up winning a lot of pods. Just, hey, I just have my 2-card combo. Screw y'all. Like it's gonna be you need to play those kind of combos. A and B. There can't be any like there's no C combos in your deck.
I'm gonna bring back Hulk Weaver, OG Hulk Weaver, Sappy Whips. Y'all can get blown the fuck out.
It's gonna be some wild stuff. But yeah, think console's still gonna be the deck to beat. Like you might want to be playing a blue-black X deck.
I think that we might see a resurgence of Isochron Scepter too, because a lot of people aren't teching artifact removal.
Bro, I'm telling you, look, Mardu turns and 4-color turns is gonna do so goddamn good in this meta. Like, molly-whopping people just
Stop.
clap.
Just
their
stop.
cheeks, clap.
Just
their cheeks.
stop.
Stop.
God, you're a
Man.
meme. God,
Our
you're such a
viewers-
meme.
Our fucking viewers know what's up, dude. Samurai Dancer, I'm talking about you. You know what the fuck is up, and I love it. Especially whenever I take the deck and I add my little bit of flavor to it. It's just like, yeah.
Meanwhile, we
Well,
had to
with
help
that-
him take away some of his flavor last time.
Look, man, Arcane Denial is going in a goddamn deck, alright? You're gonna get over it.
Not this again.
You're gonna get over it.
Not
So,
this again.
anyways.
So let's move on to. All right, what? So you talked about this earlier, Jacoby, when you were going on your rants, your little cursing rants.
Oh yeah, because the intro was the take 2 of, of the intro.
Oh, okay. You probably aren't going to see this, or you might see this. I think we should show, but still.
Will LJ play something other than Edric? The world may never know.
No.
Bro, we already know
never-
the answer to that. It's hell no. Like,
Yeah, no, it's not. It's right here. It's right here.
So
I'm
what do
saying,
you
it's good.
slot in? So let's talk about your deck then. What do you slot in to take out for Hulk?
He just puts in
Oh,
more turn
dude.
spells.
Yeah,
And
I
more
just
dudes.
go back to the.
he
I just
he
go
plays
back
a
to the
real
tempo
deck.
list.
Yeah, he
I
plays
just
the
go
real
back to the
deck.
tempo list.
He
Yeah.
plays a real deck.
Yeah. There was a tempo list and there was a Hulk list, and I was playing the Hulk list, and Hulk is gone, so I just played the tempo list.
What he really means is that there was a Lewis list, and then there was an Edric Discord list, and he was playing the Lewis list, and now he has to go back to the Edric Discord list.
Yeah, basically.
Look, man. Yes. All right. But so what? Yes. So what I was actually getting to, how bad of a precedent does this flash ban set in terms of future ban and just anything that you guys observed from this whole debacle?
I think
We
that it
had a
makes-
lot of.
I think that it makes the bans from here on out completely fucking pointless, and you shouldn't care about what's gonna get banned, because if you cry about it hard enough and loud enough, it'll get banned. So,
Well, I mean, to be fair, once Sheldon finally leaves the rules committee or, passes on or whatever, hopefully not anytime soon, but like, will Wizards just take it over?
no.
So I think that's the last thing we want to happen. We don't want Wizards
Oh, yeah.
taking over this.
Well, yeah, we don't
Oh,
want
yeah,
Wizards to
100%.
take over.
Wizards
no,
would
don't
just
ban everything.
Wizards would be like, we're gonna ban that, and we're gonna ban that,
Dog,
and we're gonna
no.
ban that. We're gonna ban
Look,
all of that.
they printed Dranith Magistrate in a standard set.
Yeah, they don't care-
Standard set.
They don't care about Commander. They don't care about Commander.
Look,
Like-
it would be like putting Lewis to work for WotC, because they would be like, he'd be like fucking and we've talked about this before. 0 mana enchantments that tap for mana.
I'm almost as bad for Commander if I work for Wizards as Wizards like taking over Commander. You don't want me taking over.
A 2 CMC 2/3 creature human wizard when it ETBs ad nauseum. And it's black.
That's Lewis. That's Lewis.
It's black and 1.
And,
It's not even double black.
yeah, and Nausea is an ETB trigger. Oh baby. I'm telling you, man.
It's wild. Like,
So yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. Also, the 2 CMC creature that's like overload Cyclonic Rift. Yeah, we don't want that either.
Jesus.
hold on, I got you. 0 mana flash. It's instant speed, right? If it gets countered, you lose the game.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Who hurt you?
Yeah, that's like obviously broke. Like,
Bro,
You should-
like
you
that's
should
what
have seen
Wizards
the,
would print.
you should have seen the Veil of Summer I sent up. That was better than the Veil of Summer that we got. The one I sent up Ancestral Recalled instead of just drew you a card instead of cantrip. It was gas.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it said my spells can't be countered. That's it. Period.
Oh, well,
That's
so
it.
forever. So
Yeah,
forever.
just ever.
Yeah.
just
Wow.
ever. Yeah. Your spells
My
can't
spells
be
can't be
countered. Period.
So anyway,
Draw 3 cards. But no, so going back to like the precedent. So like, do you think it's gonna be more bans like this? Like, or if enough people complain,
No,
they'll cave.
so
100%.
we fought for this ban for a year, I believe.
No. This started like 2.5 years ago.
This started
when it was
Protean
first brought
Hope
up.
was unbanned.
Yeah.
So
This
if
was
we have
like-
to fight for this long, it's probably the only time we're gonna get this.
It got worse with the Paradox Engine ban. That really pissed people off. And then that Thassa's Oracle came out. Yeah, it was bad. It was a lot
Well,
of time.
the Paradox Engine ban, we understood why they did it, but the problem with the Paradox Engine ban is it pretty much was like, we'll see all these like decks that can kind of hold their own. Yeah, they can only do that because of Paradox Engine. So if you get rid of Paradox Engine, Flash is the card to play. Like, that was it. Then they were like, hey, we're going to print this Thassa's Oracle for no reason whatsoever. And it could have
I think
just
the
said the
Paradox
first part of
Engine
its
ban-
text. It didn't have to say the last part of its text that says you win the game.
They could probably unban Docs Engine now.
They won't.
It won't happen.
Yeah.
They won't, because the casual meta doesn't like that I have Paradox Engine in every one of my decks, and I just take 3 hours to do my one turn of, drawing 7 cards and casting some shit that doesn't do anything. Hey, I've got a giant 7/7 worm.
So if you want to fix Thassa's Oracle, you just take away the text equal to or less than. You change that to less than. So that way when you pop it back into their owner's hand, it cannot be equal to 0. 0 is not less than 0, so therefore you do not win the game. It's that fucking easy.
No, you
Do
just take
not
off the
say
win the game
shit.
text. No, you just take off the win the game text. That's
No,
it.
it's fine to have with so it's fine to have the ETB trigger that says win the game. It's cool, whatever. But don't make it equal to, because if you remove the card that gives the ETB trigger, if that's the only thing they have, now they don't win the game. Because you cannot it doesn't say
0
equal
is not
to or
less than 0.
Yeah, 0 isn't
Yeah,
less
yeah.
than 0. So then, therefore, they wouldn't win the game. Now the card is a fair card.
That's
it
fair.
has a
They'd-
weakness. At
they'd
this
have to
point,
have
it
one
has
card.
no weakness. This card does not have a weakness. There's
Yeah,
and
we
then-
went from a turn 2 meta to a turn 3 meta, because now it's blue, blue, black, Thassa's Oracle Consultation.
Have you ever played a game where somebody Angels Grace the Thassa's Oracle and they didn't have a library left?
Yeah, I did it.
It literally becomes who can get that Thassa's Oracle before that player dies. I'm sorry. I'm going on a rant.
So,
but
No, but yeah.
what I'm
So-
saying is like it's under the same pretext of which they banned Primeval Titan. When Primeval Titan resolves, the entire game becomes about who has the Primeval Titan, and the game just devolves from there, and it becomes unfun or whatever. So
Give me a prime time.
So, with all that being said, guys, overall, let's just get a rating on what we think this banning was. We'll start with you, Dewey. Scale of 1 to 10.
You start with me.
Yeah.
About how I feel about this ban list.
Yeah. Was it good, bad, indifferent? What do you think about it?
I'm indifferent about it. I think it was. I saw it coming, but I still think it was kind of a poor choice, in my opinion.
Okay. You, Mr. Caleb, what do you think?
oh, it was dumb.
LJ?
I think, yeah, dumb.
Unfortunately, it was a good ban. It needed to happen.
You don't have to lie, Lucas.
Mr.
I-
Baka.
I'm not lying.
I see why they did it, and I agree with why they did it, but I don't know if down the road it was the right call.
Okay, and I, of course, think it was a great idea. So 3
So-
out of the 5 members believe it was a good banning, so we're gonna say it was a good banning.
We need
Wait.
to understand further though that what does cEDH mean? Does cEDH mean
We can discuss
Playing the
that
most
in our
optimal
next
strat.
video.
Yeah, we'll come back to that in the next video.
So there you have it. Our next video will be what is cEDH. And with that, guys, thank you for watching our video again. Join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube.
watch the Twitch?
Follow us on Twitch. Send us your Bezos bucks if you have them. If not, cool with it. We're gonna get out of here though. We're gonna go play some games and have some fun.
Play the best deck.
Once again, thank you for joining the Reflected